My First Summer in the Sierra by John Muir. July 22nd. A fine specimen of the black-tailed deer went bounding past camp this morning. A buck with wide spread of antlers, showing admirable vigor and grace. Wonderful the beauty, strength, and graceful movements of animals in wilderness, cared for by nature only, when our experience with domestic animals would lead us to fear that all the so-called neglected wild beasts would degenerate. Yet, the upshot of nature's method of breeding and teaching seems to lead to excellence of every sort. Deer, like all wild animals, are as clean as plants. The beauties of their gestures and attitudes, alert or in repose, surprise yet more than their bounding, exuberant strength. Every movement and posture is graceful, the very poetry of manners and motion. Mother Nature is too often spoken of as in reality no mother at all. Yet how wisely, sternly, tenderly she loves and looks after her children in all sorts of weather and wilderness. The more I see of deer, the more I admire them as mountaineers. They make their way into the heart of the roughest solitudes with smooth reserve of strength, through dense belts of brush and forest, encumbered with fallen trees and boulder piles, across canyons, roaring streams, and snowfields, ever showing forth beauty and courage. Over nearly all the continent, the deer find homes, in the Florida savannas and hummocks, in the Canada woods, in the far north, roaming over mossy tundras, swimming lakes and rivers and arms of the sea from island to island, washed with waves, or climbing rocky mountains, everywhere healthy and able, adding beauty to every landscape, a truly admirable creature and great credit to nature. Have been sketching a silver fir that stands on a granite ridge a few hundred yards to the eastward of camp. A fine tree with a particular snowstorm story to tell. It is about 100 feet high, growing on bare rock, thrusting its roots into a weathered joint less than an inch wide, and bulging out to form a base to bear its weight. The storm came from the north while it was young and broke it down nearly to the ground, as is shown by the old, dead, weather-beaten top leaning out from the living trunk built up from a new shoot below the break. The annual rains of the trunk that have overgrown the dead sapling tell the year of the storm. Wonderful that a side branch, forming a portion of one of the level collars that encircle the trunk of this species, Abies magnifica, should bend upward, grow erect, and take the place of the lost axis to form a new tree. Many others, pines as well as firs, bear testimony to the crushing severity of this particular storm. Trees, some of them 50 to 75 feet high, were bent to the ground and buried like grass, while groves vanishing as if the forest had been cleared away, leaving not a branch or needle visible until the spring thaw. Then the more elastic, undamaged saplings rose again, aided by the wind, some reaching a nearly erect attitude, others remaining more or less bent, while those with broken backs endeavored to specialize a side branch below the break and make a leader of it to form a new axis of development. It is as if a man whose back was broken or nearly so, and who was compelled to go bent, should find a branch backbone sprouting straight up from below the break, and should gradually develop new arms and shoulders and head, while the old damaged portion of his body died. Grand white cloud mountains and domes created about noon as usual ridges and ranges of endless variety, as if nature dearly loved this sort of work, doing it again and again, nearly every day with infinite industry, and producing beauty that never pause. A few zigzags of lightning, 5 minutes shower, then a gradual wilting and clearing.